Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Learn Laugh, the podcast where we explore fascinating topics from around the world. I'm Emma.
And I'm Ryan. Today, we're diving into one of the most secretive and enigmatic countries in the world, North Korea.
That's right, Ryan. North Korea is a country that fascinates, baffles, and even terrifies people across the globe. We'll discuss its history, culture, politics, and the daily lives of its citizens.
And we'll try to separate fact from fiction. North Korea is surrounded by myths, and not all of them are true. So, let's get started.
First, let's talk about how North Korea came to be. It's impossible to understand the country without knowing its history.
Absolutely. North Korea, or the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, was established in 1948. After World War II, Korea was divided along the 38th parallel, with the Soviet Union controlling the North and the United States overseeing the South.
That division led to the Korean War in 1950, a devastating conflict that lasted 3 years. Even today, the war hasn't officially ended, there's only an armistice.
Right, North Korea became a communist state under Kim Il-sung, who is still revered as the country's eternal leader. His family has ruled the nation ever since, with his grandson, Kim Jong-un, in power now.
And that family legacy is central to the country's political and cultural identity.
Speaking of leadership, North Korea is often described as a totalitarian state. The government controls nearly every aspect of life.
That's true. The Kim family is treated almost like gods. There are statues, murals, and even songs dedicated to them. Citizens are required to show loyalty and reverence.
And the government enforces strict rules. Dissent is not tolerated, and punishments are harsh, even for minor infractions.
It's also worth mentioning their unique ideology, Jush, which emphasizes self-reliance. In theory, it sounds empowering, but in practice, it isolates the country.
Yes, it's one of the reasons North Korea remains so cut off from the rest of the world.
Now, let's talk about what life is like for ordinary North Koreans. This is where fact and fiction often blur.
Definitely. For starters, most people live in poverty, with limited access to food, healthcare, and modern technology.
That's true. The government distributes food and other essentials, but it's often not enough. Malnutrition is a serious problem, especially in rural areas.
On the other hand, Pyongyang, the capital, looks much more developed. It's like a showcase city, but only a small, elite group of citizens lives there.
And even in Pyongyang, there's no such thing as personal freedom. People are monitored constantly. Phones and the internet are strictly controlled.
That's right. Most North Koreans have never been outside their country or even met someone from another nation.
Of course, we can't talk about North Korea without mentioning its nuclear program.
Absolutely. North Korea's development of nuclear weapons has made it a major player on the global stage, despite its small size and economy.
The international community, especially the United States, has imposed heavy sanctions on North Korea because of its nuclear tests, but the regime seems determined to continue.
And that's partly why diplomacy with North Korea is so challenging. It's like walking a tightrope. Any misstep could have serious consequences.
Exactly. The relationship between North Korea and South Korea is also very complex, with moments of tension and occasional attempts at reconciliation.
Let's shift gears and talk about North Korean culture. Despite its challenges, the country does have a rich cultural heritage.
Yes, traditional music, dance, and art are highly valued, but much of it is used to glorify the regime.
True, they also have unique sports events, like the mass games, which feature thousands of performers in synchronized routines.
And let's not forget their cuisine. North Korean food is similar to South Korean food but less spicy. Dishes like cold noodles, or naengmyeon, are quite popular. So, Ryan, what's your biggest takeaway about North Korea?
I think it's the contrast. On one hand, it's a country with a fascinating history and culture. On the other, it's a place where human rights are severely restricted.
I agree. North Korea remains a mystery to most of us, but understanding it is crucial for global peace and diplomacy.
Well said. Thanks for joining us today, everyone. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And let us know what topics you'd like us to cover next. Until next time, take care.